everyone, welcome back to See the Stories, and we're still on our discussion with Dr. Denta, a pediatrician, on outdoor play guide for children.
Yes.
So, I mentioned about rain, right?
Rain, you know how kids love to play in the rain.
So, what do you think? Is it a good thing to do that, to let the kids out on the rain?
Well, there's a good and bad side of every story, right?
Okay.
So yes, it's a good thing. One of the stimulation. Again, and earlier I mentioned about the comfort level of the kids. So when we see that, when we assess that this kid is still comfortable and then they're not like shivering and they're still okay, meaning okay. But after that, we make sure that they get
warmed up.
from the activity. Usually, the thing that make most of the kids sick after like outdoor activity or something like that is the lack of resting. So like, make sure after that, after they play with the rain, have a good shower and then good food and then rest.
Have
and
a
everything.
good nap.
Yeah, have a good nap.
I'm kind of curious. Until what age do kids?
This is a personal question from Yanni.
I know. If my kid is like, I don't need to nap. I'm not tired, Mama. I'm
Suddenly
like,
they hate napping, right?
I know, but you need to nap. So
you will regret later when you're adult.
Exactly.
You will need
What
nap.
age?
Well, usually the guidance is for napping, and maybe until early primary school. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh,
It
no.
still can, or maybe
First
after
grade
that.
already.
She said first grade.
Still need to nap because napping is one of the time for the kids to grow, to repair their body, to stimulate their body, something.
Yeah. What happens if your kid, a toddler for example, accidentally ate the soil maybe, or anything that is on the ground, maybe they're full of dirt, I don't know what. What happens, and is it that bad? What happens to the body if it happens that way?
Well, our body is already equipped with a very good organ, right? With the liver to detoxify all the toxic, with all our kidney to again detoxify everything that we put in our mouth. So I think if the kids is healthy, we don't need to really overestimating the danger because sometimes it's a good thing for them to interact. But of course, if you see that our kids is full of dirt in the mouth, of course we have to clean it up. But after that, no
Don't
need
drink
to
Dettol.
Yeah, no need to worry that much.
Yeah. Okay, this is getting interesting. I don't know if we still have time because I still got a lot of questions because I have 3 kids at home. Maybe, parents, sometimes they are so panicky when the kids are having bruises or they fell on the playground, something like that. How far can we actually be panicking about those things when it happens?
Well, panic is okay. Panic is good actually. That's a sign for us to, if anything happen, that we can go to the nearest healthcare facility. But the thing that we need to consider is, as a parents, we have to have ability to assess the situation.
Okay.
Whether this is really emergency or not, or whether we can still wait until tomorrow or not. Meaning like, if the bleeding is coming out really equally, and then maybe the kids after injured and become more sluggish or maybe more weaker, and then that's a sign definitely have to go to the hospital. But after a bruise, the kids still active, the kids still can rest, the kids still, then it's okay, we can still wait until the next day maybe. And then of course the ability to do a first aid is a good thing to learn, of course, and then the ability to stay calm. Of course.
No, that's out of the question.
First aid after a bump, for example, and then you've got the swollen, forehead. What should we do? Is it like to compress it with something warm or cold, or how? Because there's a different version.
Yeah,
There's some oil, right?
for every injury, a first thing that we have to assess at first is the awareness of the kids, whether they still awake or not, whether they still can interact with us or not. And if they can still interact, okay, it's not a really emergency, and then we can measure, and then we can go directly after that for the first aid. Say like for the bump, we can go with a Actually, of course, the warm compress is always good thing to start. The
warm-
thing,
warm
the
compress.
thing that make the kids comfort.
Okay.
Sometimes when you compress, you can feel, right, the comfort.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is. We can always ask, is it? Are you feel good or better with the compress? If not good, we change the compress to the cold compress.
Wow.
And then okay, this is better, mommy. And then okay, we can go with the.
So comfortable level will also lead to their
Yes,
recovery.
comfortable level is one thing that we can easily assess our kids
Okay.
during the sickness or during the injury.
Right. That's a good tip. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, so
We're gonna play some games. So we
Yeah.
have a tradition here. Every time
Oh,
we have a
okay.
guest, we play some games. So before we end our discussion, I will invite our fellow friend Rory to lead our See the Game.
Probably not relevant to me, this discussion, but I'd really love to, test you guys about the facts or the myth. I'm just going to give you a statement, but before that, I'm going to give you this signboard to each one of you. So,
Oh, we
Dr.
just
Tenta,
moved.
thank you so much for coming to our studio. You will be the judge.
Oh, I'll be the
So
judge.
they will answer whether the statement is a fact or a myth, and you will judge it and give a brief explanation about it. Okay? So there will be 5 questions.
Okay. So
Ladies?
let's see if we learn anything today, right?
Exactly, exactly. That's
there's a
the thing.
quiz after
Well,
class.
I believe this is a very relevant topic to both of you, so you
Yeah.
can pick, many things up from the doctors.
Yes.
From the doctor. Now, let's go to the first question, shall we? Myth or fact? If your child has a fever, so this is the the screen that you have to
Yeah.
look at. Myth or fact? If your child has a fever, they need to stay indoor. Is it myth or fact?
We didn't talk about this.
We didn't talk about it, but I'm still gonna put a myth.
Well, guess.
Fact.
A fact. I put a
fact?
myth on it.
Myth. Okay,
I'm a bad
which
parent.
one?
Genta, which one is
Uh-oh.
the right answer? Is it
The
fact
key
or myth?
is to have a rest, right? So indoor always a good area to have a rest compared to outdoor, because usually when during outdoor we can never predict what's gonna happen,
weather,
right? The
okay.
weather or everything, and it can worsen the kids' condition. So of course, yeah, indoor is always.
Oh, that's a fact! Yay! So
The
young
kids can
athletes picked up
can
something
rest.
from the doctor, right? You learned
So
something.
it's a fact. It's a fact, not a myth.
So what about you? What do you do when your kids get
The
sick?
same thing. I was just thinking.
You're gonna take them to waterfall or to like
No,
playing soccer?
I know that I have to keep them full of rest and all that, but it's not a big no to take them outside either. That's why I said
while
it's
they're
a
coughing,
myth.
while they're sniffing.
I mean, yeah, they need sunlight as well if they're
Yeah,
having
yeah,
cold and
sometimes,
all
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. That's
Maybe we can take them to the beach or something like that without having too much wind, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like with a very thick jacket.
Exactly. Yeah. But anyway, it's a fact.
That's a good ngeles, Alia. That's a good
Sorry.
excuse. Right, okay, let's go to the second question. Is this a myth or a fact? Outdoor learning is just playtime.
Myth.
Myth.
Yeah.
Both of you answer myth. So, do they answer it right?
Well, it's a fact, of course, that outdoor play is never a structured thing to give to our children. So as long as they enjoy, as long as they comfort, it's their playtime.
So, the learning process is a playtime
Yeah.
for our children.
Yeah,
no
It's not
matter
only
what.
a playtime.
It's-
It also involves education.
Yeah, it's all
Alright.
but playtime is especially for toddler. Yeah, so we
Okay.
don't need to push them. Okay, you have to
Read.
read this, or you have
Do
to
mathematics.
you have to reach
Algebra.
the mountain by the age of 4 or something like that. So it's not a structured thing, but it's more of
Like a
a
playtime.
stimulation and interaction, like a
For
playtime.
Tiger Moms,
Do
it's
you
like,
guys learn something? Goodness, both of you answered.
myth. It's a myth because,
It's
okay,
a fact.
let's say-
As the doctor said, it's
no,
fact, right?
it is just playtime. It's not always just playtime, right?
Yeah,
more
of
than
course.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
more
yeah,
than
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It's
can.
So it's a myth.
Yeah, can be both, myth and fact.
I'm confused now.
We were getting
Okay,
less.
so it's a myth, yeah. Because it's not just a playtime.
Yeah,
It can be
okay.
a scolding process.
I mean, taking the
that's
kids
the last
to the mountain at the age of 2.
That would
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Not a
what
good
the
idea.
purpose.
You
is.
are debating with Ma, you know. You're
Yeah. We will never win.
We will never.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
doctor.
So myth, okay. There you go. Let's go to the third question, shall we? Or third statement. different weather provides unique learning opportunities.
Yeah, we learned. That's what we learned today.
Yeah, that's what we
It's
learned.
okay for my
Is that
kid
right,
to
doctor?
play the
Yeah,
rain.
it's a fact. From raining, from from the day, time of rain and time of sunny day is always a good time to learn something and different learning opportunity, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so-
there's a saying to be able, to be brave against being dirty is actually good for your kid. Is that right?
Yeah, can be right.
Okay.
Yes.
We can
Alu-
picture how Rory kid is
Okay,
like.
it's gonna be dirty and messy. All right, this is the last statement,
Okay.
guys. Let's check it out. Keeping kids safe means letting them take risks. What tricky, isn't
Keeping
it?
kids safe means
Keeping
letting
kids safe means
It's
letting
a
them
yes
take
or
risks.
no, not a myth or fact, right?
Yeah, that's a
Keeping
myth or
kids
fact.
safe, it's myth. It's myth.
Myth. What
It's
about you, Yanni?
It's myth.
It's
It's very
Yeah,
tricky, right?
Yeah, it's very
tricky.
tricky.
I
think
it is.
I'm confused also.
Keeping kids safe means letting them take risks. I mean, by giving them risks, encountering them with risks, make them accustomed to maybe risk. That means that you are
Maybe
Helping them.
helping them. you know.
helping them maybe. Yeah,
keep them safe.
helping. It's one of it, but I think it's not really the main thing of keeping kids safe because
It's not
sometimes
absolute.
Yeah, it's not absolute because sometimes we can give them risk, but they haven't had the capability to assess the risk,
Right.
Yeah.
unlike us. So what we think is a risk is different with what they think is a
Okay.
risk.
So it's a myth.
A myth lah.
It's a
Yes.
myth. Okay, you both answered it right.
Woo.
But the winner still
Yanni.
is Yanni.
Yeah.
She got it right. One
That's
statement
right.
I'm
only.
gonna take my kids out when they got fever. So
Yeah, and
Not a very
Alula,
good
doctor
idea.
said you can play in the rain.
So actually, the final score is 3 versus 2, right? Because both of you answered
yeah.
wrongly once.
I didn't even
And
remember.
she answered right 3, you answered right 2, right?
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Okay.
You learned
You got the highest score in the class. So
you
yeah.
got the highest.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah,
Benta,
thank
for
you
giving
for
us
being
My
the
pleasure. Thank
explanation
you.
and also playing the game. And see, the stories will still continue after the break, so stay with us. That's the fact. Yeah, we're gonna be back.